Today, we're talking about something called digital resilience. It's this idea that we can use technology to take back control, not just over our careers, but over our own bodies. Now, those two things might sound like they're worlds apart, but you're about to see just how deeply connected they really are. I mean, that's the big question, right? In a world that feels more and more uncertain, where do we actually find a sense of control? It can feel like we're not really in the driver's seat of our own lives, from our health to our work. So how do we start to grab the wheel? Okay. Let's think about this like a coin, an empowerment coin. On one side, you've got this really personal battle, reclaiming your own body. And on the other side, it's that drive to build something of your own platform, your own work. See, these aren't two different things. They're two sides of the very same coin in this whole quest for resilience. So, let's start with side A, biological autonomy. This is all about the fight to get some control back over our own physical selves, especially when you're up against something that just won't quit, like a chronic condition. And just to get a sense of how huge this is, get this, 1/4 of the entire world's population is affected by chronic pain. That is a staggering number. This isn't some niche issue. It's a global health crisis that really chips away at a person's feeling of control.
In this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. See, chronic pain isn't only a physical thing. It's a constant, low-level stress that's always there in the background. And that stress can set off a whole chain reaction of other health issues. It's a really vicious cycle that can make people feel powerless.
So how does technology actually help here? Well, one really cool tool is something called biofeedback. The idea is actually pretty simple but powerful. You use sensors to see your body's internal stress signals, like your heart rate or muscle tension, right there on a screen. Getting that real-time feedback means you can literally see what helps you relax. You're learning to control things we usually think are totally automatic. It's the mind-body connection made visible.
And of course, this is all going digital now. We're seeing real research that shows mobile health apps, or mHealth, can make a difference. This big analysis of a bunch of trials found that these tools led to a small but significant improvement in pain. Now, small might not sound like a revolution, but believe me, for someone living with chronic pain every single day, any significant improvement is a massive win. It's a piece of their independence back.
But, we have to be realistic. This tech is not some magic fix. There are some serious downsides we have to think about. For one, these tools could make health inequalities even worse if you can't afford them or don't have internet access. Then you've got huge questions about data privacy. And let's be honest, sometimes these apps are built more to make money than to actually help people. These are big hurdles we have to get over.
Okay, let's flip that coin over. We're shifting from reclaiming the body to building a platform. This is side B, using the world of digital entrepreneurship to take control, but this time in your professional life.
Let's make this real by looking at how an app called Promptar was built. It's a tool that helps you be more confident on camera. You see, building something like this isn't random. It's a step-by-step process. You start with what's called an MVP, a minimum viable product. That's just the most basic version that still solves the problem. Then you pick your technology, create a brand, and you launch it. Every single step is a deliberate move toward creating something you own.
And here's what that actually looks like. An app like this is a whole system of features working together. You've got a library to manage your scripts, a pop-up editor, a setup screen, and then the key feature, this prompter mode that puts the text right under your webcam so you're always looking at the camera. Each feature is another layer of control you're giving to the user.
This quote just perfectly captures that change. The second your tool is out there in the world, you're not just a person with an idea anymore. You're a founder. You've built a platform, a digital space where you make the rules. It's a huge shift from just being a part of the system to being the one who builds it. And a massive part of that is staking your claim on your little corner of the internet. Like this quote says, getting a good, simple domain name is like finding an untouched piece of beachfront property. It's your address. It gives you a sense of permanence and authority online. It's your foundation.
Okay, so we've looked at both sides of this coin, reclaiming your body and building your business. Now let's put them together, because this is where it gets really interesting. This is where biology and business connect. Remember the whole health side we talked about? The entire point of tools like biofeedback is to give patients a stronger sense of empowerment. It's about putting the tools and the data in their hands so they can take back some agency. Now listen to this quote from the business side. When you build your own digital platform, you become the architect of the environment. Notice that language? You're creating the space. You're building the tools. It's exactly the same idea, using technology to build and control your own world. And that, right there, is the link. Whether we're talking about an app to help manage pain or a platform to help manage your career, both are acts of digital resilience. It's about actively using technology to reclaim control, both in our physical lives and our professional ones. So, that brings us to one final big question. When our bodies and our businesses can both run on data that we control, what does it really mean to be resilient in today's world? It's not just about bouncing back anymore, is it? It's about building the very ground you stand on.